Hey, if you're anything like me, before you move to a new place, you're going to try and figure out all the information that you can about that place. So today, I'm here to talk to you about the cost of living in Los Angeles. My name is Zach, and I'm a local real estate agent in Los Angeles City. So if my team or I can help you with any real estate needs, you can find my phone number and email address below right here. Thanks so much and enjoy the video. One of the first things that I want to talk to you about is the average household income in the Los Angeles area. Now, the average family income is $116,000 for Los Angelenos residents. Now, that's different than the average household income. The average family income is for 2 incomes in the household. The average household income is for a 1-income household. The average household income for residents aged 25 to 44 is about $88,000 per year. For residents aged 45 to 64, that rises to about $91,000 per year. Now, the household and family income is higher than the national average of around $70,000 per year. So you are likely to make more money living in Los Angeles than you would in other areas of the United States. Another important factor for you to consider when moving to Los Angeles is the income tax that you would be paying. Now, in Los Angeles, income tax can range anywhere from 1 to about 13.3%. At $70,000 or more, you would be paying 9.3% income tax for Los Angeles. Now, because the average household income is above that $70,000 echelon, you would be paying a 9.3% tax rate for your income just on average in Los Angeles. Sales tax is another important factor for you to consider when moving to Los Angeles. Now, sales tax in LA is going to be 7.25% plus the local municipality tax, which means that for most LA residents, you're going to pay anywhere between 9.5 to 10.25% sales tax depending on where you live. This is higher than the average compared to the rest of the United States. In most US states, sales tax is anywhere between 5 to 7%. So you can expect to pay more sales tax living in Los Angeles than you would in other major US areas. Now, if you're moving to Los Angeles, you might be considering renting. So what are rental prices like? Well, in Los Angeles, it is a very rent-heavy area. In fact, over 50% of the housing units in Los Angeles are rented units. So let's break it down by studio and then additional bedrooms as well, and what prices you might be seeing. In 2023, the average price paid for a studio apartment was about $1,600. Now, I recently moved back to Los Angeles from Charlotte, North Carolina, where I was living in a studio apartment and paying $1,250 per month. So moving to Los Angeles is a big increase in your rent prices. For a 2-bedroom home, rent is expected to be around $3,400 per month. And for a 4-bedroom home, you could be looking at prices as high as $8,000 per month. Another important factor to think about if you're not thinking about renting is how much it costs to buy a home. In Los Angeles, at the moment, average home prices are around $1 million. Now, those prices will increase the closer you get to the downtown area and decrease at least a little bit the further you move from the downtown area. Property taxes are another important factor to think about. Now, in California, unlike in other areas of the United States, property taxes are based on the acquisition cost of the property. Again, property taxes are based on the acquisition cost of the property. Property taxes don't increase on a steady biannual basis or annual basis or anything like that. Only when a home is sold and then acquired by a new party is that property tax assessment made. So, of course, the higher price that you pay for a home in Los Angeles, the more property tax you're going to pay as well. Now, on average, again, approximately property taxes are 1.25% of the acquisition cost of the home. Now, because property taxes don't increase on a year-to-year basis and they only increase due to the acquisition costs, the government has had to come up with new and creative ways to increase the amount of money that they receive from LA residents so that they can pour that money back into the community and into community projects. So that's what we're going to talk about next. So, because property taxes are based on acquisition costs, the government had to come up with a creative way to receive more money from residents so that that money could be put back into the community for community projects. While this might be known as like a CBD in areas such as Tampa, Florida, in Los Angeles, we have what's known as a Mello Roos tax. The Mello Roos is an additional tax that you would pay to the government in your specific area that goes specifically towards community projects, whether that be redesigning sidewalks or fixing potholes, or maybe it's the construction of a new park, etc. All of these would fall under a Mello Roos tax. Now, not every community has a Mello Roos tax. So if you're thinking about moving to Los Angeles and you don't want to pay that tax, it's very important that you work with a well-educated real estate agent to help you avoid those extra payments. Another factor to consider when moving to Los Angeles is how you're going to insure your home. Homeowners insurance is expensive in Los Angeles right now. This can be due to a number of different factors. The first might be the extreme weather that we get, whether that be wildfires or earthquakes or hurricanes now. Because the weather can be volatile at times in this area, homeowners insurance is more expensive. Additionally, state policies have incentivized insurance companies to no longer offer homeowners insurance in some areas. Because the government wants insurance policies to be more favorable to residents, that means that insurance companies have to take on more risk. And with increasing wildfires and other destructive elements, those risks are too great to bear for some insurance companies, which means that they simply aren't offering reasonable, if at all, homeowners insurance to residents. So, what does a homeowner do if they can't get insurance from, say, an Allstate or a State Farm? Well, luckily, the government here does provide insurance rates for residents. However, those rates are going to be more expensive than the rates that you would get from a State Farm or Allstate insurance company. So, in general, you can expect upwards of $2,000 per year for your homeowner's insurance. Car insurance is another important thing to consider. Because Los Angeles is so big, unless you're living in, say, the arts district of the city, it's not very walkable, which means that you will likely need a car to get around. So if you need a car, you also need car insurance. So what would you be paying for car insurance in Los Angeles? When I moved back from Charlotte, I was very surprised at how much more expensive car insurance is in Los Angeles than it is back in Charlotte, North Carolina. Back in Charlotte, I was paying around $400 per year for car insurance. My current policy in Los Angeles is upwards of $2,000 per year. Now, on average, that is lower than the average price of car insurance in Los Angeles. The average price of car insurance in Los Angeles is around $2,300 per year. Compared to the US average of $600 per year, $2,300 for minimum coverage is a big jump. So if you're planning to move to Los Angeles, it's very important to keep in mind that the costs of insuring yourself are going to rise steeply. Now, the numbers I'm about to give you cover utilities like electric, water, sewer, trash, and internet. Those utilities, on average, cost about $250 per month. Not totally unreasonable. It's comparable to the prices I was paying back in Charlotte. A little bit more expensive, certainly, but not undoable. It is, however, more expensive than the prices you may currently be paying. So another thing to keep in mind is that if you're moving to LA, your prices are going to go up. Another area where your prices are likely to go up are the costs of you going grocery shopping or going out to eat at restaurants. On average, Americans spend about $5,260 per year on groceries and restaurants. In Los Angeles, those prices are close to a 13% increase compared to other areas of the United States. So for a Los Angelino, they are likely to be paying close to $6,000 per year for groceries and restaurants. Another area for you to consider when moving to Los Angeles is the crime rate. Now, I grew up in Los Angeles, and I can tell you from my own experiences that as long as you aren't doing anything foolish or anything that you wouldn't want your own child to do that's dangerous, you should be totally okay. Now, the US crime rate is about 6.81 out of 10. For Los Angeles, that crime rate rises to a 7.6 out of 10. So what this means is that Los Angeles has a higher crime rate compared to other similarly sized metros in the United States. All right, so I've now told you about some costs and I've talked about crime. So you might be asking at this point, well, why should I move to Los Angeles? I promise you I've got some good things for you too, okay? One of the biggest reasons to move to Los Angeles is because of the weather and all of the entertainment and outdoor activities that there are to do. In Los Angeles, you're close to the beach, to the mountains, to the desert. There's sports teams, there's comedy shows, there's all sorts of theater shows, music, entertainment. The list goes on and on and on and on. So if entertainment is something that you're passionate about or outdoor activities are something that you're passionate about, Los Angeles is the place to be. You cannot, I promise, you cannot be bored in this city because there's always something that's happening. Finally, another reason why you might be interested in moving to Los Angeles is because the projected job growth for the city over a 10-year period is expected to be over 12.5%. Now, compared to the US average over the next 10 years, which is only supposed to go up 5%, Los Angeles's job growth is expected to surpass the average US job growth by 7.5%. A majority of those jobs are going to be added in the educational services, health services, and social assistance sectors. So service-oriented jobs are on the rise in Los Angeles, and those jobs are on the rise for the next 10 years. Thanks so much for sticking around. I hope you learned something new about Los Angeles and the costs associated with moving to our city. Again, if you have any questions that I can answer or any real estate needs that me and my team can help you with, I can be contacted at my phone number or email here. Thanks so much for sticking around, and if you liked this video, please hit that like and subscribe button. I'm so excited to see you next time, and have a wonderful day.